Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. I'm on for the second video making this envelope book using the Purple Passion mashup papers from Joey Cardmaker. So they were his papers for his mashup challenge for July. I got started a bit late and still have to finish it. So he has just put out the August papers on his Ko-fi and they are gorgeous. The colour is beautiful. Now, they are a similar style to these as well. So if you did want to make something like this or you were following along with this, you could use those papers as well if you prefer the colour and that. So go and check them out. I'll leave a link below to his Ko-fi so you can see them and grab them if you want. Make sure you add his hashtag #MashUpJoey to your social media if you do post any pictures or videos so that he can see them and other people can. And I'll also link his Etsy down below as well, where he has his other awesome digitals. So we made this in my first video for this project. I also used some journal cards and tags from his Floral Grace collection, like this one, because I thought they'd go really well with it and they're beautiful. So we did this page. It's got 4 pages in it, or 4 envelopes I'm using, and just making some flips and pockets and that. So that was the cover page. Then we did this little flip with some offcut of envelope. It's going to slip over this envelope page. So we'll work on this page today. Got this page I still need to do, and then we did a pocket there and covered the back page in our first video. So we will get started and do something. I think we'll take our little flip pocket off and we'll figure out what we're going to do with this page first. So I've got the second envelope page there, and I think to decorate inside the window for this one that I will grab a botanical picture out of this book. It is the Field Guide in Colour to Wildflowers, an awesome book. You can find pages of specifically coloured flowers, which is helpful. I'm just having a look through the window to see which picture I think is going to look the best. And then I'll rip that out, making it a bit larger than what the window is. Going to add glue to the picture side to stick up onto that window part. So for this window, I am not making a pocket with it. So I'm going to stick the picture in it so we can see that through the window, and then I'll cover it over. So here you can see I'm putting the glue around the picture side just on the edges, so that I can push it up and have it stick to the window side. But I don't want to get glue on my window. So again, I'm inking in the purple around all of the envelope pieces. Sometimes I ink around pieces I don't need to, but I'm sort of figuring this out as I go. So I just figure if I ink everything, then I hopefully won't miss anything. So I'm finding one of the beautiful papers to cover over where we have stuck our botanical picture. So I decided not to put a pocket or anything for this particular page because we've got a little flip over pocket that will be sticking on, and that flips down over this piece. So I do take the purple in a bit more on these envelope pieces. Oftentimes if I'm sticking the decorative paper down, I notice that I've missed some of the envelope with the ink where it was going to show. So I'm now taking the purple in a bit further. So with this other flip out piece, I decided just to use some old book page to make a journaling spot. Just adds a nice contrast as well. So I'm inking around the edges of it, but I'm going to leave it plain otherwise. When I do go through and do the decorating, I may do a bit of stamping or stenciling or something on there. So it's Saturday here in sunny Mount Barker. The weather is beautiful out there, so I thought I would get this edited and done and get out in the sunshine and do a bit of gardening, I think. Then I can come in tonight and get on with doing some of the embellishments for this project. Now I'm figuring out how to stick down my flip-up pocket, like where I want it positioned, making sure it's going to fit under the little flip that I have there. Just adding glue to the sticky envelope flap there. Sticking it down, and that's our flip all attached now. So now I want to cover that page there where we have the botanical picture peeking through the window. So I thought a plainer style of paper would do for that. I didn't want to take away from the beautiful botanical we have. So again, just putting some pen marks where I want to rip it. It's a quick and easy way of getting it the size you want for your project. And the ripped edges look really nice as well, especially when you ink underneath on the envelope pieces first. So now I've got to figure out where to put my window. I'm using my little window template for that. Just tracing in the window there so I know where to rip it out. Just cut down to get it started to make it a bit easier, and then I just rip around within the lines. So again, inking all the edges around where we want to stick our piece. Not forgetting that inside crease of the page there. And inking in brown on the digital and the inside of the window that we ripped out as well. And I can stick that piece down. now we just have the flap out piece there that we need to do. So I'm inking around the bits and pieces on that. Just debating what paper I want to use over that side. I decided to go for a plainer paper again because we've got that really nice floral next to it. So I am going to make the little flap there into a tuck spot on this piece as well. So there's going to be plenty of room to add bits of ephemera on this little envelope book, plus a few journaling spots as well. Now, because it's a sticky flap there, I'm going to add a bit of my vintage book page. It's not really sticky enough to stick onto anything, that envelope flap, but I just think it's best practice to add some of the book page there to make it nice and smooth so that when I slip journal cards in and out, they're not going to get stuck or ruined at all. And I just apply glue to the two edges there to create the tuck spot. And then the last thing for this page that we need to do is just find a strip to cover that white middle piece. I can hear some dishes clanking out in the kitchen. I just loaded them up ready to go because I was going to do them all, but I can hear them clanking. I might not go out there for a while, and maybe some of them will get done by someone else. That'll be good. Then we've finished that page for now until we do some decorating. So we're on to the third page on the inside of our little booklet. So again, just inking around all the edges. So you can see there we've got the little flap on that first sort of piece and then this big long flap which I'm inking now. We're going to use that big long flap. I decided to add another envelope to that, which will make a nice flip out pocket as well. But I thought I would ink around all the pieces first so I don't forget as usual. I decided to put some of my stenciled book page on this back part of what will be a pocket so that it shows through the window when we take our tag or journal card out. So I'm just thinking of what I want to do next, and I decide I need to cover that bit inside the pocket there. So I'm just going through a few of the offcuts of the digital to figure out what pattern I'd like. And I decide on those stripes again. It's already a good size to put in there. I just had to rip that one end down. So now I can stick the edges of the pocket so that I can put it together. So again, I want some of the book page to put where the sticky flap is on the envelope here, and I will make that into another little tuck spot. So I'll be repeating the process that I did on the previous page with this, putting the vintage page on the sticky part and then sticking the two edges down so that we can tuck a little journal card in. Before we do that though, we have to figure out how we want to cover the bigger piece there. So what I've done is cut down one of the journal card pieces that I got from the Floral Grace papers. And I'll stick that down. I really love that. And that again gives us a bit more journaling space. Then I decide to grab the little bit that I cut off of that journal card and put it on the little tuck spot there. It gives us the other edge of the journal card, which I think looks really nice. So now I can create a little tuck spot. So you can see here I've got another one of the cut down envelopes. So it's about 5 inches tall, the same as all the pages. I just cut it in the same manner. I am gluing the flaps together as if I'm closing the envelope. Now I want it to flip over but not completely cover a little journal card on the other side because I like seeing the border of it stick out. So I've just sort of measured to make it a little bit shorter than the page and then cut that open. So now I can use that flip out part to attach that to make my little pocket there. Again, just inking around all the edges before I do stick anything down. So I'm cutting that flap down a little bit because it's a bit long and we will be slipping things in and out of this pocket. So I thought it might impede my ability to do that if I left it that long. So just cut it a bit shorter and I'm using that as the hinge to attach this outer pocket to. So I've run out of my bigger pieces of stenciled book page, so I thought I'd quickly do a couple more because we want to stick some of that inside our window pocket again. So I do rip a bit off just to put where the top of this pocket's going to be, so that when we're opening the pocket up, we won't see the envelope as much. So it's not open there at the top of the pocket yet. We'll be doing that afterwards. So now I'm going to stick what will be the bottom of the pocket down to the flap that we stuck it to before. So it closes the pocket off there. Then you can see I'm snipping this tiny little sliver of paper off the end there, and that opens our pocket up where I want it open. So now I'm sticking the sides down. And that's created the side pocket for us. So now to do a bit more covering. So again, I just use my pen to put lines where I want to rip the paper to cover. They're a little shorter than what the envelope piece is. That's why I ink all the edges. Then I'll have to use my window template. You don't need to make this many windows if you don't want to. You can just cover over the envelope with your paper. You might not have envelopes that have windows, and that's fine too. You don't need to put windows everywhere. So again, just my brown ink on the inside of the window piece and around the outside. So it's Dusty Concord that I found matches really well with the kit. I'm using that. That's the purple for the envelopes, and then I'm using my walnut stain for the digital pieces. So let's finish that side off. And then I think it's time to use another one of the gorgeous pictures that came with the Purple Passion freebie from Joey. I really love this lady. And I think she'll sit really nicely on that side as well. I just flip it over every now and again because, of course, when it's opened up, we will see her on the other side. And I want to make sure that the papers I use go nicely with that side as well as this inside part. So I'm going to layer her onto some of the botanical paper. It's not really botanical, is it? It's more like flourishes or something. I forget what you call that sort of thing. All these different patterns. I have found some dictionary or encyclopedia pictures telling me what all of these patterns are called. I think I put them away somewhere to put in a journal for myself to try and educate myself better. So just sticking the picture down there. I think that looks really nice. So now we've just got that as the last page. I was actually going to stop the video because it was getting a bit late and my daughter needed to sleep for work. But then I realised I only had one more page left to do. So I thought I'd better get on with it and get it done so I could get this video up for you guys in good time. So I'm just putting my window template down to figure out where that would sit over the window underneath. Making it a bit easier to figure out where to put the paper in regards to the window to make sure that I get it to fit nicely. And again, I will just rip out the centre there. Then it's as simple as just sticking this down to that piece. And it's all covered now, so now all we have to do is embellishments and things to put in all the pockets and tucks. So now that I have made a complete mess of my desk, I will leave it there for this video, I think, as we've finished covering the pages of a little envelope book. So next video I will focus on decorating and adding bits and pieces to all the pockets that we have. So I'll show you how it's turned out for now. So we've got the pocket that's got this tag in. I still have to add a topper and that to that. Got our little belly band. We've got this flip out that has a flip up with our pockets. I just left some writing spot there. We've got the little tuck spot in there. Then this is just plain for now for decoration. Then we have a flip out there with our little pocket in there and a tuck spot there. And then I added this envelope, and that is a pocket in there. Then we added this picture. It's got a few lines on it. My printer was struggling with these pictures for some reason, and I printed out heaps of copies, and this one, a couple of pictures have lines in them, so I was a bit annoyed about that, but I think I might actually keep this for my own purple journal when I make it, so that's not going to bother me too much. And then we covered this page, was the last one. I thought I was getting it placed real nice, and then I realised there was just a tiny bit of white envelope poking up there, which there still might be a tiny weeny bit there. So I did push my paper up a bit, and it crinkled the paper, but I've just pressed it down flat. I just didn't want to see white envelope sticking up there. Then we've got this pocket here and the tuck spot, which we've put this journal card in. And then that's the back. So we still need to put something in. Oh, that's... I'm getting confused. When we slip something in there, I have to make note when I'm decorating things to go in the pockets that if there's a window I want to put something nice, it will show through the window. So I must remember that. So that's turned out so nicely. I love these papers. Just gorgeous. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you try making one of these. I know I make it look complicated. I'm good at doing that. But it's not. It's actually quite easy. It's just because I haven't sort of planned this that I'm a bit all over the place with it. But it's coming together nice. And that's just the way I like to create, especially with envelopes. It's heaps of fun just looking at bits and pieces and seeing what you can add. So I shall see you soon for the last part of making this little envelope book. Again, make sure if you do make anything with Joey's papers that you put the hashtag #mashupjoey, and the papers available to use are on his Ko-fi, which is linked below. He's got, these were the July ones, the Purple Passion, and he's got a new one out now for August, which is so nice as well. And either of them would work for this project, or you could do whatever else you like. So take care, be good, and I will see you soon. Bye.